other one. As you notice in this performance, I use 3 different gestures to accomplish one technique. Okay, so notice I have the decking mechanics grip. Well, let me give you a quick overview of what is happening. I have the double lift right there, as you notice. That was the double lift using this technique. Then I do the color change. I'm not a big fan using this technique for this specific color change, but then I did a dealing. I like doing the dealing, the penultimate, because that's easier and really convenient, to be honest. But you'll see, I'm gonna break it down in 4 different steps. Okay, the step number 1 is using the mechanics grip. I peel off 2 cards. Now you want to know the way I control the card all the way on top, just go to the video description. I already have a tutorial for that. I have a mechanics grip, you have to peel off 2 cards. But the audience may perceive you're peeling off 2 cards. If you are too slow, then you can swing from side to side. And by the time you end doing the swinging, you already peel off 2 cards, okay? The step number 1 is pushing your thumb a little further in. So the second step, bringing the index finger halfway below the double and halfway outside. And the reason being is because I'm gonna bring my thumb on the step number 3 right over the index finger. Let go with these fingers. So the reason being is because if you don't touch the index finger with your thumb, let's assume the double is all the way there, there is no reference point. When I want to extend those 2 cards, they may slip too easily, they may separate too easily. So on the second step, well, on the third step, which is contacting the index finger and the double as well, is when I try to do the fourth step, which is kicking the double, they may be as aligned as possible, okay? And that's because I'm contacting the index finger. It's giving me a better reference point for a double to remain as aligned as possible. Now, when I do double lifts, I always try to remove the excessive glossiness of any performance when doing double lifts. Now, the way I do that is by doing, some flourishes or some shuffles, whatever it causes enough friction among the cards, so you can remove the excessive glossiness, and you can accomplish that in about a day. So that's going to be okay. And removing the excessive glossiness is going to be more manageable for this performance. So notice I have over here, well, I'm going to give you a recap of the 4 steps. Then when you have it over here for a double lift, I have my thumb, I twist my wrist and I have my thumb right in the faces of the double. So the thumb again is contacting the index finger and the double, okay? So because when you have it over there, the thumb is not slipping independently from the index finger. That's why I'm contacting those 2 surfaces with my thumb, the double and the index finger, okay? So you can ensure a proper double lift or spinning, okay, or the double. So once you already have them over here, the next is going to be the color change. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of it because I was flashing a lot, but I'll show you that in a minute. My advice is keeping this long edge contacting the hand, okay? Otherwise you may end up flashing a lot over here on this corner. It was giving me a lot of issues in this performance. So that's why my advice, the way I was working around this color change, is by contacting, and then once you completely flat the hand parallel on the floor, you need to keep pushing against the hand using these fingers, okay? So you don't expose this corner too easily. And from here you can end up doing the change with any gestures you like, okay? So from here, the next will be the dealing, the penultimate dealing, okay? I'm gonna extend pretty much the index finger and return the thumb, okay? And that's it, that's how it works. You bring the thumb back and extend the index finger. And that's what you do for a color change or for a dealing, okay? For a second or a third part of this performance. For a dealing, you have to turn over the hand and you do this move, okay? You turn it over, you can toss it, but make sure you completely square the other one, the one you just showed. Flip it over and reveal this card any way you want it. Now you can control the selection to the penultimate position as well, okay, at the bottom of the deck. And you do exactly the same. You just kick the double using these 4 steps. When you turn it over, you do this, okay? And that's what I like about doing this penultimate technique. because it is quite handy for a lot of performances, you know. If you want to know, like I said before, how to control that selection all the way on top, just go to the video description. If you want to know how I control that selection or the card as you watch at the end of the performance from the bottom into the center of the deck, just go to the video description as well on the second link, on the link number 2. So a quick recap for these 4 steps, in case I miss anything, or in case you didn't understand them. I peel out 2 cards with my thumb. Okay, push it harder, that's the step number 1. The step number 2, bring the index finger right under the double, halfway under, halfway outside. And the step number 3, take the thumb out and move it right over the index finger. Let go over here. Once you already accomplished the 3rd step, let go, okay, because you're already contacting the index finger. And the 4th and the last step, kick them out, okay. From here, you can extend the index finger and return the top one with a thumb, and you can do whatever you watch in the performance at this point. So that's pretty much the basics. Really easy, really handy as well. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial.